You would attribute those feelings to having gone through and listening to that session one?
Yeah, well, it's a reframing.
Okay, perfect. That's the exact word that I'm talking about. So,
Mhm.
before you got on, I was saying to Damon that last week the reframe was we're going from a person who doesn't have the thing that they want. You're a man who hasn't reached a certain goal to really talking about what your identity truly is and
Mhm.
identifying that protective part of you who's blocking you from getting that thing. So this week is an update of the decisions that that protector makes. And I'm really excited about this one because I'm employing some new ideas. So last week you became aware, this week you'll be influencing that pattern. And the goal is not perfection. The goal is to catch yourself a little bit earlier, you know? Whereas in the past, you might just run up in a problem and find yourself, like you said, as a busy businessman, in the past, you might have found yourself in a frustration. Whereas now you can slow down a little bit, catch yourself
Mhm.
before the frustration and realize, it's not that big a deal. I'm going to get this done anyway, you know?
Mhm.
Um, so I want you to keep in mind that every interruption of these old patterns, every interruption you create weakens these old patterns. And every choice, the new choices that you make informs your new identity and who you become. And finally, before we leave today, I'm going to leave you with a practical tool that I call Blink and Become, which is basically this little tool that one of my mentors and my teacher, Freddie Jacquin, uses, which is he calls it Blink and Delete. But instead of deleting something, we're going to be adding in things that you can become. And it's kind of like mental hygiene, kind of like how you brush your teeth and wash your ass every day. This is a part of your becoming. It's
Mhm.
practical, it's portable, and it's something that you can use in between these sessions and for the rest of your life. So you guys are ready. You ready to be hypnotized? Okay. Derek, if you will, mute your phone. I'll do it over here. Boom. Okay. So what I want you to do is just find yourself in the most relaxed position that you can in your seat. And I want you to just look straight ahead and find something that's stationary that you can just stare at. And I don't want you to study it necessarily. I just want you to look and stare at it with some intensity. Almost pretend and imagine that if you could fall into it, you're giving it that much attention. And as you do that, I want you to notice your breath. Don't try to control it. As a matter of fact, let's see what happens if you don't try to control the breath and just notice it in and out as you're staring directly ahead. With every word that I say, I want you to imagine yourself getting more and more relaxed. With every inhale, I want you to take in some calm. And with every exhale, start to let the tension leave your body. Feel the tension leaving your body with every exhale. And with every exhale, allow yourself to go deeper, deeper within. And as you're staring ahead and you're hearing my voice, maybe you're noticing that one arm feels heavier than the other. Maybe you can hear better from your right ear than your left. As you're hearing my words and they're taking you deeper within, I want you to remember that no one needs anything from you and nobody wants anything from you right now. This is your time. Take it, use it, and allow yourself to relax deeper and deeper. I want you to notice the muscles around your eyes. As you're staring, they might start to get heavier. Might notice they're blinking or twitching a little bit more. And with your next exhale, I want you to allow your eyes to close gently. That's right. Feel yourself going deeper. You might start to hear some ambient sounds in your room or around you, wherever you are. Any sound, any so-called distraction, just allow it to take you deeper into your own relaxation. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to open your eyes just for a second. And when I do, you're going to close them back really quickly and you'll feel yourself going deeper. One, two, three. Open your eyes for a second. Close them again really quickly. Now feel yourself go 100 times deeper into your relaxation and feel that spill through your body from the top of your head all the way down into your forehead, down your head, into your neck and shoulders. Relax all the way down to your fingertips. Relax into your chest and torso, down to your waist. Feel that relaxation come down to your thighs and knees and all the way to the tips of your toes. You get more and more relaxed. That's it. You're starting to now really fall into that rhythm of your breath. Breathing in more calm, exhaling any residual tension. And as your body sits there in comfort in that seat, I want to talk to the unconscious mind. And I want to go back to the unconscious mind, to that part, and ask it which part of it has been running that old familiar patterns that we discovered in the first session. That old protective mechanism pattern that we started to loosen up last time, we want to talk to that one. That part that was in charge that stopped you from achieving that goal before this become him experiment. We want to communicate with that part that's been trying to protect you the best way it knows how. And if it's ready to communicate with us, please go ahead and give us a signal. Maybe I'll see it. That's good, Damon. Maybe, okay, right. Yes, there it is. Okay, we want to thank that part for allowing us to communicate with us once again. We want to ask that part now what exactly it's been trying to do, remind you, tell us again how it was trying to protect you before. What was its positive intention? Give us a signal as it comes to pass. Mm, yeah, good, Derek. Okay. Well, we want to thank that part again for its positive intention. And now I'd like to ask that part to use all of your creative resources to identify as many new ways and new choices of satisfying those positive intentions. Behaviors that have nothing to do with the old behavior and the old patterns. And what we're looking for are choices that make this new identity that forms from these choices. And as these new choices are coming in, they don't stay in one area, they naturally spread everywhere. The confidence will spread, the calm will spread, and better decisions spread. We need choices that allow self respect and unconditional self love to spread. One better choice makes the next one easier. We want choices that allow you to begin to notice yourself responding differently before you even realize you're doing it. We want choices that unconsciously, naturally looks for more opportunities to express this new identity without even trying, without even forcing. We're talking about effortlessly. And one day we want this self to catch itself living differently. So we want to ask this unconscious mind to go off and find those choices for us. And as it does those, and it does that work for us, we want to take the conscious mind elsewhere. So as your body sits there comfortably and your unconscious mind is doing its thing, I want your conscious mind to pretend and imagine that it's floating up and out of your body now, above where you're sitting, higher, above the city. That's right. And now your conscious mind takes you above a nice, comfortable, intimate movie theater. And I want you to pretend and imagine that your body drops down into that small theater, into a big, comfortable theater seat. That's right. Feel how comfortable it is. And I want you to look up and imagine that you can see a frozen image of you on the big silver screen in a freeze frame, just about to reach a door handle and walk into a room. And as your body sits there looking up at that screen, I want you to get a sense that your consciousness pulls up and out of your body, up and back, back up into the projection booth, behind the glass, into the seat, at the controls, nice, safe, and sound. And I want you to stay inside there, protected, until I say you can come out. And from up there, you can look down at your body, looking really comfortable in that seat. And from that seat, you can look up at the screen, anticipating what's about to happen. In a moment, I want you in that booth to press play. And when you do, you're going to experience a day as it normally goes. Any day before you decided to become him, before you decided to put yourself first and go for your goal, you're going to see that in your mind's eye. 1, 2, 3, press play. And as you look from the booth at the screen, you see your body move into action. Walks into a huge room, and in that huge room are scenes and scenarios from the times when you couldn't achieve your goal, or you forgot about your goal, or you suppressed your goal because other people said that it's a dumb idea. Whatever negative beliefs, negative self-talk you had, see yourself moving through those scenarios. Notice that feeling of not doing. Get a sense of how you feel when you're not achieving. Imagine what that feels like for the character on screen. Where does he feel that in his body? That's right, you're doing good. Get a sense of how that man feels about himself right now. You might start to feel those heavy feelings, and don't worry, it's okay because this is just a film. As you notice the back door of this big room, you start to make your way towards it. And as you're walking toward that back room, you're feeling the last feelings of those heavy scenarios. You reach the back door, reach for that handle, you open it, you step out the back door, close it behind you, you're safe and sound, take a deep breath, you made it through. You're doing great. And in a moment, when you hear zzz, that's because you press rewind, and you'll find all of those scenes going backwards very quickly. And that screen will return to the very first frozen scene. 1, 2, 3, press rewind. Zzz, very fast. Back at the beginning. Now, as you look at yourself on screen, standing outside that door again, you're ready. Now, this time, as you sit in that projection booth, safe and sound, you're going to run this film again, but this time as a cartoon. Maybe it's one you grew up with, maybe it's one you're making up on the fly, but everything, every scene you just saw will now be presented as a cartoon with vibrant colors and sound effects and all the accompanying silliness. One, two, three, press play. As you sit there in that booth, you watch yourself go into action. You walk into that room and everything turns cartoonish. That's right. Notice the big feet and the big gloved hands and the big stupid heads. Hear those sound effects. That's right. And as you're going through that, feel how novel everything is now. The scenes that were just maybe a little depressing or a little sad just a moment ago are the exact same scenes, but now they're colorful and they're silly. It's hard to feel the same way about it now because of this silliness, but you embrace it. And you're walking toward that back door slowly, noticing the novelty, almost feeling the vibrant colors coming to that back door. You reach out to a handle that's exaggerated with a big white gloved hand and you wrap it around and the knob disappears and you open that door. You step out and you slam it behind you. Big sound effect, laughter. You made it through. One, two, three, press rewind. Zzz, rewound very quickly. And now you're looking at the screen again. And from that comfortable seat in that theater, you look up at the screen, amused and waiting to see what happens next. Back up there in that booth, I want you to take a moment and get one of your favorite all-time songs in your head. Maybe it's something you grew up on, maybe it's something you created yourself, but it's something that feels good every time you hear it. It's empowering. And as that song fills your head, get ready because when you press play, you're going to be walking into that same room, but it's going to be 6 months later. Let's see what happens. One, two, three, press play. As you look from that booth, you see yourself walk into that room. As you look at that screen from your seat, you notice that this guy, even though he looks just like you, is just moving differently. It's 6 months later, and you've achieved that goal a long time ago by now. And this is just who you are now. You have become him. And as your consciousness watches a scene unfold, you can start to see and imagine exactly what that version of you on screen is feeling now. As you watch him, he's just acting out a mundane Monday. And I want you to get a sense of how ordinary it seems now. Him on screen already accomplished your goal a long time ago. Smell the air around you. Notice what stands out. What is he hearing? Can you hear that? And get a sense of what future you is looking at right now. He's already reached his become him goal long enough that there's no more excitement about that accomplishment right now. Instead, there's a calm, quiet confidence, self pride, a knowing. Notice how different that feels right now. And what is he touching? Imagine that you can actually feel it, that you can feel what he's touching, and notice that that thing grounds you to a feeling of contentment. You see him making a pleasant look on his face on that screen. What's that taste in his mouth? You notice that? As you're watching this image of yourself on that screen, you notice that he appears contented. I want you to allow yourself to lean back in that booth, lean back in that chair, uh, and just pretend and imagine right now that you are that you on the screen. And there's no difference between you now and the future you that accomplished that goal. Feel that right now. Feel accomplished now. I want you to feel his gratitude to himself for going on this journey to become the man he knew he could be. Your on screen character appears to be having a great day, which is so normal for him now. And you can feel that as the screen goes dark. Rewind, zzz, back to the beginning. Now I want you to allow your consciousness up in that booth to float back down to your body sitting comfortably in that seat. That's right. And now your body gets up from the seat and walks down the aisle toward the screen, up the stairs, onto the stage. And now he's looking up at a huge image of himself. Good. Now pretend that you can reach up and grab that image of yourself and pull him and his energy down into your body. And as you do, feel that change tingle through your body. Thank him for going through that for you, taking all those learnings and the understanding. Keep that with you, filling you up. Feel that. And from here, the harder you try to remember those old patterns before you reached your goal, the more distance they become, and there's nothing you can do about it. Good. Now pretend and imagine that you're floating up above the theater seats, above the theater. You're going higher. Now you're moving fast. You're going so high that you can see the whole city, the whole state. Now you can see both coasts, all the coasts. You can see the oceans. Now you're so high you can see the greens of the rainforest, the sands of the deserts, snow-capped mountains, clouds. You're up so high you've got a beautiful vision of our beautiful planet. And from up here, I want you to look around at all the things trying to get your attention, but they cannot because you're focused. You're looking back down toward where your body is, trying to make out exactly where you would be on that planet. And your third eye, I want you to see a big archery target form between you and the earth. That's right. Notice the colored rings. And in the center of that target is a big red bullseye. In the center of that bullseye is the man that you wish to become. He's right there. He's already accomplished the goal. And in a moment, you're going to be fired through the center of that bullseye and absorb all the energy of that future you, all the accomplishment, all the feelings of the accomplishment. When you hear swoosh, that will be the sound of you being shot right through him, but instead of destroying, it will absorb his energy into your body, and you'll come out the other end floating in a beautiful cloud of bliss and unconditional self-love. When you go through the center, you might feel the intensity for a nanosecond, but don't worry. Once you go through, that old pattern is destroyed. You'll be walking in a new pattern. So get ready. 1, 2, 3, swoosh. That's you going through, and now you're out the other side, and you just feel this new energy rushing through you because now you've taken on his energy. Pretend and imagine you can feel that. And you feel your consciousness floating in a cloud of unconditional love and bliss. That's right. As you're feeling these feelings of newness, you feel the wow. I want you to picture your loved ones' faces. I want you to see their eyes and see their teeth. I want you to see your loved ones smiling at you. And I want you to feel how much love and pride they have for you. Let that fill you up. See them gazing at you lovingly. And as you're feeling that love, fill you up, surround you, hug you. Your goal was accomplished. You have become him now, and there's nothing you can do about it. Now I want you to feel what you feel for them, how much love you feel for them. And as that love for them fills you up, get a sense that you are the future you now. That's right. As you're floating there in that cloud of bliss and unconditional self-love, I want you to pretend and imagine future you is remembering the first evidence of your accomplishment. That future you is remembering the first evidence he felt like he's accomplished his goal of becoming him. Remember that first healthier meal. Remember the first time you spoke up and heard your new voice. Future you is remembering The first morning you noticed things are different now. The first compliment, people are starting to notice. The first time you surprised yourself. That's right. Get a sense that you can remember these first changes when things started feeling different to you. You started to notice your energetic change and allow yourself to feel the feelings of your goals accomplished. Do it now. Imagine how you move through life now. And as your consciousness is floating up there in that cloud of unconditional self love and bliss, I want you to pretend and imagine you are future you now, and you can remember every amazing thing that happened before, during, and after you accomplished becoming the man you wanted to be. Feel it everywhere. Good. Now, while you're relaxing comfortably, I want you to notice that from up here, you can look back down at your body sitting comfortably. And I want you to notice that every ounce of those old patterns is gone from your body now. Those limiting beliefs, negative self talk, all of that has left your mind now. You cannot experience them. You cannot like feel them anymore. And you're very comfortably separated from your body as you drift up here completely free. So as you stay up there and enjoy that bliss, I want to go back and talk to that unconscious part of your mind that we gave a job to. And I want to say to that part, I want to talk to the part that was in charge of the old limiting beliefs, the old pattern. And I'd like to ask that part to look at the new choices that it's identified and pick out the ones that are best, the ones that give this man the freedom to become him. And when it's made those choices, I'd like for that part to give us a signal. That's right, Damon. Good. All right, Derek. Good, good. And I want to thank that part for finding these new choices for him. And now I'd like to ask that part and every other part of you to go ahead and make any necessary accommodations to create a new sense of reintegration and bring these new choices seamlessly into his life. I want these new choices to fill up, penetrate, and permeate every subatomic particle, every molecule, every cell, every fiber of his being, encode and update with these new choices, making them a part of his new personality. Do it now. And as it's doing that work, we can allow those signals to continue. That's right. That's right. Very good, Derek. Very good. Okay, so now I want to ask that part to pretend and imagine a new future to test out these new choices. You accomplished your goal a while back. Now it feels regular. And you still love to remember the feeling of becoming the man you came here to become. And that makes you smile. That's right. But now there's a new sense of excitement and curiosity. Because this is who you are now, your unconscious naturally begins to look for other places in your life where this same freedom belongs. And you're starting to notice how this new identity naturally expands to the rest of your life. Now you've become him. You notice everyday situations. Picture being him and having a conversation at the grocery store with some stranger. Feel how you flow in the company of others, how you feel comfortable in your skin. Unexpected challenges. You get a call, it's bad news. You see yourself handling that call as him. That's right. Relationships. People are noticing you and they're reacting positively to him you've become. Feel how they talk to you now, how they look at you now. Feel the respect. And with work, you are him. Just doing something mundane. Notice the difference in you. And health, as him, there's more confidence in how you move through this world now. And it manifests in better, healthier habits, physically, mentally, spiritually. Like, imagine experiencing better friendships, better relationships, better sex. And as for stress, as him, you are able to quickly find and calm any situation at any time. Imagine that. Just picture yourself, find yourself living a better lifestyle because you decided to put yourself first all the way back in August of 2026. You get a sense that everything is working out just right for you now. And without even trying, you simply catch yourself living differently, effortlessly. Enjoy that feeling now. Good. While you're enjoying that feeling, I like to go back up into that cloud of bliss and ask some consciousness to come and float gently back down into the body. Consciousness, come rejoin the unconscious, connect back with the body in alignment with spirit. And as you start to reintegrate, you can feel this new energy, this new knowing, this new becoming radiating throughout your body. That's right. The unconscious is already reacting. I can see it in you, Derek. And as these new choices are now reintegrating into your body, and your nervous system is starting to take on this new personality, in a moment, I'm going to count to five. And when I get to five, you're going to find yourself back in this room, in this space, and you'll be present and feeling refreshed. One, pretend and imagine your body, mind, and spirit are finding alignment effortlessly. Two, allow yourself to be radiantly healthy, happy, strong. Three, get a sense that you have now become him. Four, feel good now. And five, open your eyes. You're present, you feel refreshed. And from now on, you'll consider this. Every time you notice an old pattern, you've already interrupted it. How you feeling? You can unmute yourself if you like. Anything you want to share?
I'm adjusting my eyes right now.
Yeah, that's a happening. How about you, Damon? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, thanks.
I don't think you fell all the way asleep this time.
I don't know.
I didn't hear you
You
snore.
know, you know what was interesting?
So,
I could literally see as a musician, like sometimes when I close my eyes and I'm playing notes or something like that, I'll see colors,
hmm
literally, and they seem like I don't know if they're just like light overlays that are happening over my eyelids, you know what I'm
hmm
saying? But what I noticed this time is I was actually seeing formations and patterns.
Ah.
Like the more I breathed, like
hmm
I was literally seeing like it felt like light was going like it was in this formation, but it was going like every deep breath and it would dissipate and it would come back.
Okay.
I kept seeing that.
Yeah.
Not like sunlight illumination, but you know, you can see like if you close your eyes, you can kind of like see light illumination. That was very interesting as I was breathing deeper, and then it was kind of taking shapes as well.
hmm How did it make you feel?
Interesting. Very relaxed.
Awesome.
Very relaxed.
Very cool. All right. So, if there's nothing else you want to share, I want to give you guys this tool and send you on your way. So, the tool is called Blink and Become. Like I said, it's a technique I got from one of my mentors, Freddie Jacquin, and I've kind of adopted it to what I want to use it for. And I want you to use the tool to allow you to break through, patterns that your unconscious mind is creating. And people seem to find this pretty helpful. So, here's what it is. When a limiting thought or a limiting belief comes to your mind, you will blink and become. So, blink isn't actually an acronym. The B stands for becoming aware. The L is for locating the decision, when and where you made that. I is for is it still true?
Mhm.
N is for the new decision, and K is for keeping it moving. Okay. So let's break that down a little bit further. When you see yourself come up against the thought that you don't want to have or something that feels like it's excuse me, feels like it's upsetting you a bit, you become aware of it in that moment and you pause and you notice your reaction. That's the first thing to do. Okay.
Mhm.
And then as you're thinking about it, after you've noticed it, you're thinking about what you're doing, you locate that decision. You want to think about when you made that decision, how old you were, because a lot of the patterns that we're stuck with started before we were 7 years old, and we're still allowing those things to run us as a grown man. So you want to find out how old you were, who were you with, where were you? You know what I'm saying? Give it some geometry, give it some feel, so you can really break down this ridiculous notion that you don't want to have anymore. In the I, you're asking yourself, is that decision you made back then, is it still true for you today? Was it even your decision in the first place? Do you still believe that decision? The N is where it really starts to change. You put in a new decision and you want to choose something empowering, you know, um, whatever idea you can come up with. But usually what works for me is it's the exact opposite of what I'm thinking about. The thing I don't want, I want to think about the thing I do want in that space. And
Mhm.
K, for keeping it moving, you just go about living your life with this new decision. And then you become him. And that's it. So your homework for this week is just to notice. And then when you do notice, try using this tool. And then, whatever you want, write down what happens to you during this week, this next 7 days. You know what I'm saying? You can call me if you've got questions. If there's something that's really, sticky, you want to talk out, I'm available. Besides that, I want you guys to go off and have the rest of your day. Enjoy it. Don't think about this stuff too much. But again, when you feel something negative come up, know that you can go right back to this.
Love it.
All right. So look out for a follow-up email. I will send you all the details of this particular this tool to use, so you can always refer back to it. And have a great day. Thank you guys again for coming. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Peace.
Thank you. Okay.